Hello everyone! Today we are working on this autumn or fall themed set, perfect for the season. Right now I'm working on putting down my pink coat. That is going to be on my ring, pinky, and pointer finger. Now on the pinky, it's going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to have some filigree there that matches kind of the filigree around the landscape we're going to be doing and what have you. Super simple, all along one side. Alright, and then we're going to chrome it up, and I chose silver because I thought silver would look better with the orange. Alright, so the landscape. The key to the landscape is we're going to make it exist, and then we are going to make it good or better. So let's get a vague idea of how I want my river to be, and then we'll do the land and some green I have. Doesn't have to be perfect. There's going to be layers going on top of this bad boy. And then the sky. I like to do stripes of colors and then kind of slap them together up and down, side to side, until they create this nice gradient effect. And now the tree. Let's just get the vague idea of a tree down. I always find them to be kind of hard to do. I don't know, they don't always look like trees. But it doesn't have to be perfect. No two trees are the same anyway. And look at that, we've kind of made it exist. So let's start working on making it better. So I'm taking a little bit of a bigger brush and I am just going to dab down the shape of the tree leaves. They're not like individual leaves. This is just the shape that I want, I don't know, the broccoli top of the trees to be, the leaves as a whole. We're going to do a couple layers of orange there, but then we're going to go in with a nice pretty red. Now with a couple layers of the red down, I'm going to put some highlights on the tree trunk. And we're going to take a yellow, because that's within our color palette here, and highlight one side, and then with some dark deep brown, I'm going to low light the other side. And I know there's some rule about not using pure white in a lot of paintings, but I'm going to go in with a pure white, and along the trunk and the branches that are facing closest to the sun, I'm going to add a very small line just to make it pop. Alright, so I wanted to add a little bit more color to the sky, so I dabbed in that little yellow tree up above, and now I'm going to be working on the little bushes here. I'm going to put some along the side and then some right underneath the tree by the trunk. Everything I paint pretty much has 3 to 4 colors in it. So for instance, these bushes, I already have a medium green down, and I'm going to place down a dark green to create some shadows and define each bush, and then some light green on the tops to make it look like the sun's hitting them. That way they don't look like just kind of green blobby messes. And I do that with every object in the painting, so that each object kind of has some dimension, or at least tricks you into thinking there's dimension. So now we're going to pretend to make some dimension in the water. So with a dark blue, that is going to be placed underneath the bridge, and then an orange dot and a yellow dot underneath that. And you're just going to kind of swoosh some blue around in them to try to distort the colors a little bit to represent the reflection. And now I wanted to add a little bit more definition to the leaves. So with the yellow that we've been using for pretty much all of our highlighting at this point, other than some white, I'm going to place that at the very tippy tips of the leaves that the sun would be hitting. And then with a darker color, it's a diluted black, I am making the shadows underneath to try to make these kind of bulbs almost of leaves. And then of course the silver frame around our little piece of art. It's going to be very similar to the pinky nail that we did. And now our pointer and ring finger. So as you can see, I've done a very messy blue that matches the sky French tip. And I am just going to paint some fall leaves on it by putting down some orange and then dotting in a little bit of red and then a little bit of yellow and mixing those around in there to kind of give a gradient effect. And then, of course, this is where we're going to make the French tip actually look kind of crisper on the edge. This will turn into our silver framing. And here we have it, our completed autumn set. If you enjoyed watching today, please leave a like or a comment and consider subscribing. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye!